118 days ago, I packed my bags and left the UK for good to come play poker in Asia. I had $31,416 in my poker roll and a suitcase with everything I owned. I've made a lot of mistakes, so let's dive into everything that's happened and where I'm at now. I came in all guns blazing. I had 3 simple goals: a money goal, a goal to play more live poker than I've ever played before, and thirdly, a content goal. I also really wanted a live trophy, but we all know nothing ever goes to plan. This is where I ran into my first mistake, my Airbnb. It was cheap, it had everything I needed, and it looked like it was close to the card room. But I quickly learned Manila isn't a walking city, and grabs and traffic are extremely unreliable. It's a small mistake, but if you're going to play a live series, spend the money on a place closer to the casino. This series also highlighted mistake 2. The first series was way too small. Average buy-in of $200, and with the bigger buy-ins having tiny fields, there's very little room to grow. Despite that, I gave myself a couple opportunities to have 10 to 20k scores. At the end of the series, I was down 629. That's pretty much break even over 14 days. With the live series done, it was now time for some online grinding. I flew to Cebu to set up a poker bootcamp in a much greener city. I love the concept of gamifying life, with goals, achievements and levels. So I did exactly that. Online grinding, healthy routines and a lot of studying. I made videos covering the entire bootcamp. And while financially I lost small, in my eyes it was a massive success.
A great success!
I fixed a lot of leaks and learned from a bunch more mistakes. Mistake number 3. Technical issues are much more prevalent when you move around a lot. Accounts don't migrate smoothly, internet isn't as reliable, and the safety nets you had at home, like hotspots and different sites to play on, aren't working out here. It felt like life just kept throwing expenses at me. New laptop, visa extensions, random other small costs. Every day I had to pay for something new, but I was starting to settle in. I cut my online bootcamp short because another live series was starting in Manila. And this time, I was more prepared.
Reporting today from live outside the Okada.
Also, take a look at this sick looking tree I found on a walk through Taipei. Finally, I felt like I was getting into a groove, but one of my goals was falling far behind: the content creation. I was making videos weekly, but I felt like I wasn't improving. And content still wasn't looking how I envisioned it. I wasn't adapting fast enough. So I switched to daily reels, making me edit every day and making small incremental improvements. Poker-wise, things also went better this series. I still ran bad in the big buy-ins, but I was able to win 28.97. And I was very happy with how I played. With this series then, I was ready to move on from the Philippines though. The visa extensions weren't worth the hassle, and there's no new exciting series coming up. Upon reflecting, I made one more mistake in the Philippines. I realized I hadn't taken any days off. Apart from the 3 days, I got terrible food poisoning. No nature, no activities, and not using the freedom that poker grants me. And whilst grind mode is fine, part of the reason I put up with the stresses of poker is to be able to use the freedom it gives me to go places and enjoy nature. Either way, I moved on to Taipei. Here I found out something I wish I knew a lot sooner. Taipei is by far and away the capital of poker in Asia. Endless series by huge operators with massive prize pool and super soft fields, with a level of organization I've never seen before. So I jumped straight into WPT Prime. I got a third in the smallest buy-in of the series, which funnily enough was also my best performing reel. I guess people love seeing you win. But breaking even in poker is pretty much losing, especially when you still have a relatively small roll, because monthly expenses take up a big percentage of your roll. This is why you need to grind hard to get out the trap, which leads me straight into the third and final chapter of these 118 days. I'm doubling down. I realized I was finding it very difficult to move every 2 to 3 weeks. I wasn't able to get into a rhythm. I had to find a new place, set up everything for my online sites. Combine all of that with playing a lot, trying to study enough, and editing led me to feeling like I was falling behind, even though I'm not in a race against anyone. If I was going to be anywhere in Asia, Taipei is the place to be. It's a very big bonus that I like it here. Infrastructure is very good and people are very nice. I played 4 consecutive series here: WPT, the Player Series, the APC, and then the Zodiac series. I was making reels every day and I got into a very good rhythm. But the one side I didn't share that much about is my online grinding. I was still putting in consistent volume and my results have been great. Before I reveal where I'm at right now, what my goals are looking like and my future plans, let's go out one more time because I spend way too much time behind my computer as it is. I may have mistimed this slightly because it looks like it's gonna rain, so let's get to it. I'm currently still in Taipei and I'm actively looking to make this my base. Like I said, the people are super nice, the food's super tasty. Yes, it's a bit more expensive than other Asian countries, but the opportunities that I have here in regards to poker outweigh that extra cost tenfold. On top of that, it's a great place to travel from. It's got flights to basically everywhere in Asia, which I'll definitely be using. Lastly, there's still so much of Taiwan I haven't seen yet, so I want to make sure I see the entire island and country. As for where I'm at with my goals right now, for the content goal, technically I've achieved that. I've made more than 26 videos already. Yes, most of them are short form content, but I think it's been a great learning opportunity. Short form content is here to stay. However, I will be adding long form content back into the mix. I've got a cash series here in Taipei on the way. That flexibility kind of leads me on to reviewing my second goal. My volume goal was 250 live tournaments by the end of the year. And since I've been out here, I've played just over 100 tournaments, which means I will fall short if I stay at this pace. But this is actually a blessing in disguise. Tournaments are structured very well here. You have long levels, you have lots of play, which means ROIs are higher, but it means you're firing less bullets. However, the year's not done yet, and I will keep putting in the volume, so maybe I still reach that goal. Now for the most interesting one, my poker roll and money goal. The goal was to reach 100k by the end of the year, and I'm still pretty far away from that. Since I've been out here, I've spent around 9,465 bucks, give or take a couple $100. On top of that, I've spent about 35k in live tournament buy-ins, from which I've made 2658 so far. Yes, that's pretty low, but I've ran very bad in the high stakes. The breakdown looks a little like this. I've played just over 100 tournaments. My average buy-in is $330, and I'm cashing 22% of the time. However, in buy-ins bigger than 500 bucks, which are all the shots I've taken, I've played 16. Out of those 16 buy-ins, I've had 0 cashes, which I don't think I played any worse or any better. I just ran pretty bad. I documented that in my reels. I wasn't able to win the flips in the expensive tournaments, but that's just the way poker goes. As long as I'm able to keep putting myself in those spots to be able to take these shots, one of them will pay off. For the rest, since leaving, I'm up 58.74 from online poker. This is both results and rakeback. Last but not least, I'm up 14.88 from cash games since I've been here. So if you add that all up, I'm up 555 bucks since I've been here. That's not a very big increase to my poker roll, which means I've got a long way to go to get to 100k by the end of the year. But it makes the journey more exciting. And if I have one more takeaway, it's that it's okay to fail. Maybe I won't achieve my goal by the end of the year, but I've made the changes to live a life I enjoy, to pursue a lifestyle I want to live, not be stuck in one place. So learn from my mistake. If you feel like you're stuck or you just don't enjoy what you do, make that change.
Make a change.
Worst case scenario, you can always go back to the way things were before, but not making a change can cost you your entire life. So stay on the lookout to see if I can make 100k by the end of the year, or if I fail, enjoying the process.